This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday what we said is like we will be writing a template, kada? So I said like first we will be writing. Just I will give 20 minutes heads up. So what we are going to do that I'll try to tell. But implementation, let's see if Pooja is also joining. Otherwise, yeah, we will see how it goes. Okay. So it is like reverse engineering. Till now what we have done, we are creating the flows. As I said yesterday, we are creating the flows, like we are creating one flow, we are keeping the listener, we are just hitting it. So everything we are doing directly from Anypoint Studio. But using ramal is something different. Like first we have to write the template, and okay, template we will be writing how many methods are there, what is the input, what is the output. We will write the template first. Okay, the template also where we will be writing, we have to write it in Anypoint platform. I think you have heard about Anypoint platform. Long back we have created our account, right? I think it might have expired, so you need to create a new account. So for installing Anypoint Studio, I think we have created one account in Anypoint platform. Have you guys remembered that? Have you guys remembered? So have you guys remembered? So if you have not, like if it has crossed 30 days, means what you can do is you can create one more new account, create one more new account. And after creating the template, after writing the template, after writing the operations, after writing like what input is required, what output is required, we will unit test it in the Anypoint platform. So till now what we have done, what all the things we have done is like in Anypoint Studio only we used to create our flows, used to deploy, we use it to unit test it. But here in the ramal case, what we will do is like we will do our unit testing also in the Anypoint platform only. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ టెంప్లెట్ రాస్తాము, తర్వాత యూనిట్ టెస్ట్ చేస్తాము, ఆ తర్వాత ఎక్స్చేంజ్ కి పుష్ చేస్తాము. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద స్టెప్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ. సో అగైన్ we will push it to the exchange. So till here the usage of Anypoint platform ని ఈ ఫస్ట్ 3 స్టెప్స్ కి యూస్ చేస్తాం. రైటింగ్, టెస్టింగ్ అండ్ pushing it to the exchange. After pushing it to the exchange, what we will try to do, so we are doing reverse engineering, right? మనం ఫ్లోస్ ఫస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయట్లేదు, టెంప్లెట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి టెంప్లెట్ ద్వారా ఫ్లోస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. So first we are creating the ramal, and then by using ramal we are trying to create the flows. So we will create the flows using this whatever the template we have written in the Anypoint platform. Using that template we will create the flows. This is first step. And then we will implement our business logic. What we will do, we have to implement. I said like implementing the business logic is nothing but we have identified 5 operations, right? Get method, post method, delete method. So till now it is just a dummy, it was not connected to any target system. It is not connected to any of the target system. Okay, till now it is dummy only. Okay, after creating the flows in Anypoint Studio, we will try to create business logic. Okay, we will try to create business logic అంటే యాక్చువల్ టార్గెట్ సిస్టమ్ కి అప్పుడు కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఫస్ట్ డమ్మీ ఫ్లోస్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసేసి ఆ తర్వాత వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ద లాజిక్ we want to implement, that we will be doing in the Anypoint Studio. And then after implementing our logic, we will deploying it to the cloud hub. మనం cloud hub కి ఇప్పుడు వరకు we have not deployed any application till now, but for this example we are going to do it. So till now where we have deployed here in the local server, in the Jetty server we have deployed. Here only we have deployed. After deploying here, I have unit tested from the any postman. But in this case, definitely in this case what we are going to do, we will have to deploy it in the cloud hub lopala deploy chestam. Okay, we will be deploying it to cloud hub. So after deploying to cloud hub, మనకు ఒక URL వస్తుంది. We will get one URL. That URL, for example, if it is 123.com, I will be sending it to the front end. Front end means the person who is calling our URL. Definitely మనం డిప్లాయ్ చేశాక మన URL పోస్ట్ మ్యాన్ నుంచి హిట్ చేస్తాం కదా, అలానే దిస్ ఈస్ ద URL. ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ దిస్ ఈస్ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ అని ఉంది. In this case, we have localhost. But in the case of Cloud Hub, the URL is something different. మనకి డిఫరెంట్గా ఇలా వస్తుంది అనమాట. సో దాన్ని యాక్చువల్గా we will be giving it to the front end people for invoking our service. 1 second, please. So what we will be doing after that, we will be deploying it to the Cloud Hub. Till now what we have done, we have deployed only to our local Jetty server. Here only we have deployed. So we used to
Could
get,
you share your screen?
okay, yeah, am I not sharing? 1 second. Okay, I have just I'm right, I have written the steps. Okay, I will repeat it. That's fine. First I will be writing a template in the Anypoint platform. I will be unit testing it, and then I will push it to the exchange. These three things will happen in the Anypoint platform only. Okay. After creating this template, slowly we will bring that template to our Anypoint studio, which is nothing but this one. So the flows will get generated. For example, if I have written 5 methods, 5 flows are going to generate. Okay, and then we will implement the business logic. Why? Because whatever the thing we have written till now, it is template only. We have not actually implemented it. It has not connected to any target system. It was not connected to any target system, either SAP or whatever the target systems we have not connected. So that logic implementation, actual business logic implementation for that 5 flows, we will be doing it in the Anypoint studio. So till here our creation of flows is completed. Then we have to deploy somewhere to our application, right? Normally if this is like locally means to the Jetty server, I will be deploying it to the Jetty server. I will be deploying, and when I am deploying locally, definitely you can see like localhost. Okay, with the help of with the usage of like this IP address, I used to invoke my flow. But in this case it is something different. Why? Because we are trying to deploy it to Cloud Hub. Cloud Hub in the sense, in the runtime manager of Anypoint platform, we will try to deploy it. After deploying, you will get one URL. That URL generally you will be giving it to the front end guys. Front end guys is nothing but the persons who are going to invoke our service. Okay, to them we will be giving our URL, and that URL is nothing but original URL. This is something like, okay, for example, I have told, see, like this in this way we will get like one URL. Okay, just sample example I have told. Okay, this is original URL. So what happens is like if I give this original URL to them, there is a chance like hackers will be hacking our data. See, this URL something, if the flows which you have created is related to some defense project or some healthcare project, so if any banking application, so definitely through that URL there is a chance like your credit card info or some sensitive information will be passing through the URL, and there is a chance like hackers can hack your data. So directly giving our original URL to the front end system is not that much preferable. Why? Because okay, we can give it, it will work. Definitely there is a chance of losing data. What we will do, we will try to secure this original URL with some dummy name. So what I will create, for example, my original URL is 123.com. What I will do, I will create a wrapper on the top of 123.com. One wrapper I will create. To that wrapper I will give my own URL abc.com. And what I'll try to do, I'll try to give this wrapped URL to the front end guys. So by doing that, what will happen is like this dummy URL, they will be hitting us, but the dummy, but whatever that wrapped URL is there, we will give that wrapped URL to them. Even though if when they are hitting this wrapped URL, inside very securely this wrapped URL will be hitting our original URL. So in that way we are saving our data, we are saving our URL, we are securing our URL. It is nothing but creating this wrapper is nothing but we will be calling it as creating a proxy. Creating a proxy. So it is nothing but I will be creating a proxy means the meaning is that you are hiding your original URL with some wrapped URL. So one fault URL you are creating and you are making the people just you are making the people bluff, simply we can say. Why? Because we are not giving original URL, we are giving some wrapped URL. So they cannot hack our information at any cost. Why? Because whatever we are hitting, that even though that sensitive information, they will not track it, they will not capture. That is what the security the MuleSoft is providing. Okay, so that is how we will be creating a proxy. And after creating a proxy, after creating this proxy, this URL will be something different from the original URL. Okay, only this now it will be accessible to them. On the top of this dummy URL only we will be applying, and one more security layer also we can apply. See, securing the original URL, wrapping the original URL is one case, that is one thing. Okay, that is one thing. And to that wrapped URL also we can apply some security. So almost like 3-layer security we can apply. We can keep some credentials to this URL. So while hitting this wrapped URL as well, people has to give some credentials. That security also we can provide. So that means it is nothing but we can apply policies on the top of this wrapped URL. On the top of we need to create a proxy, deploy a YAML, the same thing. We can apply policies. So these are all the 5 steps, or not 5 steps, almost A to I we need to perform. Okay, so I don't want to confuse with this. I'll just remove this URLs so that the steps will be pretty much clear for you guys. So while we are creating, whatever the URLs we will get, we will try to track it. So long story short, write the template, unit test it, push it to the exchange, create the flows, implement the logic, deploy to the Cloud Hub. You will get one URL, secure that URL using proxy. And after securing it, again what you can do, you can apply one more security. You can apply the policies to that URL. So almost like 3 layers of security you will be giving. So finally, that is what the real time is. Actually, in the real time, we will follow these all this. This is real time actually. Okay. Now coming to the POC. So we will start doing our POC. We will start our doing our POC. So for doing that POC, let me explain you what POC we are going to do. What all the prerequisites for this POC. So what I'll try to do, target system here, I will try to hit. I will create the template. Okay. So whatever the POC I'm trying to do, it is related something with flights. That is fine. Okay. Flights information, I will be writing one template. Okay. I will unit test it, push it to the exchange, and I will create the flows. This business logic I have to implement. So what is this business logic? This business logic is nothing but business logic implementation I am saying. So in the business logic, what I'm trying to do, I'll try to hit MuleSoft API. MuleSoft database, I'll try to, MuleSoft flights database I want to hit. Okay. Flights database I'll try to hit, and I'll try to get the info. So my business logic is something related to flights. In the flights, like get method, post method, delete method, 3 flows we will be creating, 3 or something like query param, and remaining 2 using URI param I want to hit. So So like almost 5 flows I will be creating, 5 flows template we will write it. Okay, we will push it. And target business logic is nothing but we have to hit someone, right? Target system we have to hit directly, like MuleSoft database only we will try to hit it. Okay, we'll try to hit MuleSoft database. So this is something where this is something almost F point. So first four we have to first A to D we have to create na. First one by one we will create. We will try to create one by one. First we will try to create RAML. Okay, this is something like business logic. At this time, to which database we have to hit the credentials and everything I will be giving at F point. Okay, so at least now we will try to create some RAML. So I need to have any point platform, but to be frank, whatever the account I have created that is above 30 days, so definitely it will not work. I have to create a new one. I think in your case also the same thing applies. Any point platform, even the any point platform is there, it is like about 30 days only, definitely no, it will not work. Let me create a new account. I have to create a new account. Let me create it first. Why? Because we can write the RAML inside platform only. We don't have any other option. We need to have credentials. Let it open. Let me quickly create one account. What is happening? Why it is not opening? Is the MuleSoft is down or what? It is also there. Try to open your anypoint platform. Anypoint platform in your systems as well. Only am I facing, or are you guys are also facing? Just I want to. Oh, MuleSoft itself is not working or what? It is also taken Diwali holiday or what? Oh no. It is not opening for me. How come? Without this, how where we will do? Depend platform should be there. Let me. Very strange. Is net is working or not? Oh, net is working here, so no problem with the net. Have you guys verified? For you guys, is it sign in? Now we got it. Perfect. Okay. I want to create a new account. Let me create a sign up. I'll just give something. Some name I'll try to give. Something I'll try to give 7890. Okay. Okay. First name and last name it is asking. Let me unshare my screen. Why? Because during sharing also it will not work properly. That problem is there with any point platform. So let me first create my account. Everybody knows how to create it, right? So let me create my account immediately and I'll share you. Seven eight nine zero is the account. I'm trying to create my account. Okay, whatever I have created. Okay, let me share my screen now. Okay, I have created. Account is created. That account details also I will note somewhere, otherwise I'll forget. This is my username. Okay, this is my username. This is my username. Okay, fine. And now where we can create our rammer. Go to here, go to design center. Okay, go to design center. Are you guys able to hear my voice? I'm not hearing anyone's noise, so I'm not understanding whether my voice is audible or not.
Yes, Nitya.
You are there. Okay, fine. See, here in the design center of any point platform, if you click on create, you could see API specification, fragment, asynchronous one, import, synchronous from existing repo. So all these options you can able to see, but you want to create damn new API. So anything you can keep. Okay, ramal version is the latest version. Okay, the template version generally it will ask. So other than ramal, some people are going to use OS as well. So OS is something, some different language. Okay, so it is something, the syntax and everything will be different, but none of, I could say like majority, definitely no, I have not used many people using OAS. Everybody will go with ramal only. At least in my experience, I never created, to be frank. Okay, okay, so fine, come down, create API. Now you can see the API will get created. See, this is the ramal version, this is the title. Okay, this is how a ramal will be created. .raml, whatever we are creating, it comes with the extension raml. Okay, a rest representation language, it is nothing but just template. Okay, so this is the API. So if you want to keep any version, just click on enter and you will be seeing some shelf at the bottom. So you can use these tabs. You want to keep some version, right? So after title, definitely our vision will be like keeping a version. So what you can do, you can give a version, and here user message it has to give. So nothing in the panel, nothing was displayed. So you can give like v1 or something, some version you want to display. Yes, you can do that. Okay, version you can place it. Now in my requirement, normally all these operations, how many operations are there, from where we have to start, everything will be there in the requirement document. Whatever the document they will be providing in the real time, definitely, like what is the input, what is the output, everything they will be giving for our implementation. We have to see that document and we have to implement in Mule API standards. Okay, just everything they will give, but from where we have to start, that we have to identify. Okay, So for this flights API, what I feel is like I see for any API. Let me first copy this. Let me explain clearly and then 54. First, this is like this one. I'll go for YAML. So fine. Now it is fine. See, in any API, in any while you are creating YAML file, you don't need to worry. See, for each and for every flow, what you will first for what thing you will be giving first. Definitely you will be giving separator, right? In our in our take the example of the flows which we have created till now. First, what you will take the listener, you will establish the connection, and then immediately what you will give, you will try to give the separator. It is nothing but path. So think think how here you are creating your flow, and you can write that template over there, right? So and for any flow, if it is related to listener, then what you will do, first you will give the separator. So in our YAML file also, it is the best, it is our responsibility to give the separator. So after like our connection details, we will be giving our separator. Without that separator, we will not hit our flow, right? So our first step should be the separator which we are going to give, right? So in my YAML also, I'll try to first give my separator. Hey API, so first I am creating whatever the flows I am creating, my separator should be always like flights. And yeah, if you see it is showing some errors, immediately it is showing some errors. So if any error is there, here it will display. So you don't need to worry. Okay. So and while writing this template, you should be very careful. See, I am not giving the space and I'm just giving the colon. So see, if I am not given the colon, automatically it is showing the red mark. So if you click on this red mark, if you see say project errors, if you just bring up this, so syntax errors, it is just saying like syntax errors, but it is not saying that colon is required, right? So whatever the error messages this YAML file will throw, exact message it never throws. Okay, we have to understand. So something like understanding YAML is bit tricky, but even then, if you have write if you write like 10 or 15 APIs, it will you will get addicted to that syntax. Okay, so long story short, without anything like in the mule template, definitely a colon is something like ending. In SQL, when you are running your query, definitely you will keep semicolon, right? In the same way, here in the YAML, colon is like end separator, we can say. Okay. After a separator, what you are trying to do, whether it is a get method or post method, we have to see whatever the flow now you are going to write, it is something get method. So here my requirement is, so in my requirement I have in such a way that if I am giving the flight ID, it has to give all the details of flight, is my first requirement of is my method requirement. So whatever method requirement, in the sense for this get I need to have one get method, and that get method is in such a way that if I am giving the input as ID, then it has to give the details of that particular ID. Details of that particular ID in the sense, for example, your flight number is 1234. So related to that 1234, that flight details I am expecting. So details means what? How many empty seats are there? When? What is the start date of that flight? What is the end departure time, start time, end time, and where destination that it is going to go, right? If I am giving that ID, think like logically. Train number also. If you are giving any train number, definitely it gives all the information related to that train number, right? In the same way, if I am giving any flight number, it has to give all the details. How many empty seats are there? How many total seats are there? The arrival time, departure time, everything related to that flight, I need to get the information. So my requirement is pretty much clear. And second thing is like whatever the ID I am going to send, that ID will be in the form of query parameter. So my requirement is forcing me like I have to use, first I have to use get method. Why? Because I'm getting the details. So that method first I will write like get. Okay, get method I will be writing. Okay, first let me see. As soon as whenever a template, this the raml file is such a good thing. When you are clicking any enter, it at least displays okay what you can use next. So it is just like it gives like hint, hey, in this palette only what you are try, well, if your requirement is there, just try to hit it. So in that way it is giving us an indication. So whenever I just after giving the separator, I just enter, I have done nothing, I have just kept enter, that's all. By clicking that enter, it is giving the options. So if I click on get method, if I am using like I want to use, hey, I want to use get method. Okay, and after get method input, what is my assumption, what I am assuming, what is my requirement, that input should go as a query parameter. So as soon as I'm clicking on get, it is showing the query parameter as well. It is showing that requirement. Okay, we can use it. You want to go with headers, description, or other than this? Okay, in our requirement, my requirement clearly indicate is forcing me to use query parameter. Why? Because I want to use that ID as a query parameter. So query parameter you can use. So after selecting this query parameter, it is not giving any. It is not showcasing. It is not giving any hint. Why it is not giving? Why? Because query parameter you have selected, to that query parameter some name you have to give, right? So it is nothing but here when you are sending like question mark id is equals to, so what name here you are going to use, that that name you have to specify in the raml. So you are saying query parameter, but name is something related to you, developer has to decide whether you want to keep it like employee id or flight id or destination, or with the help of destination you want to check, or id you want to check. So what value you want to keep, what value you want to basing on what you want to retrieve the details, the that thing first we have to decide. So let me take like basing on destination instead of id, I will go with the destination. So if my destination is something sf or us, how many flights are there, all the flights information I need it. So I need the require in my requirement. Okay, instead of id also I will implement, even that requirement we will implement, definitely we are going to implement that method as well. But the destination also. Why? Because some flights will be giving offers to us, right? So 30% discount, 20% discount. So first with the help of, with the destination, first I will search, I want to go to america, usa I want to go. So with the usa as destination I will search the flights, among the flights which one is the cheapest, to that flight I will be booking my ticket. Okay, so here I want to keep like destination, id or destination, anything whatever is your requirement forces, that you can keep. That name definitely here we need to give. So that is the reason, see here it is a query parameter, and we are giving, I am giving my own custom name as destination. I am going to give the destination. See, whenever it is showing an error, just try to remove the space or try to do like what it is suggesting. At least see, I have kept a pace. It has shown me an error. So what I have immediately done, I have went to backspace. Again, it is gone. Again, if I am keeping like space bar, it is not giving the error. So there is this syntax remembering is something difficult until and unless you will be doing writing many raml files. If you write many raml files, automatically your hand will go like without any syntax errors. Okay, and keenly observe here it is following precedence in the sense tab space. See, first one is flights, after it has taken tab space and get was placed, and again it was taken the tab space, again query parameters was written. And from the query parameters for this destination, again tab space is there. So for each and every, like when it is coming down, it is taking the precedence that you have to observe. That is one quick observation. Okay. Okay. You are saying like your query parameter will be destination. In this destination also, see, the country names were not there. So this destination country name was not there. Something, with ABC as destination. If I'm searching the flights, means if I'm searching the flights with ABC as destination, means definitely there will be no flights. Why? Because ABC is not a targeted country, right? Now it is not. First of all, that country itself is not there, right? So you have to keep some restriction. You have to keep some restriction. Hey, only allow these values. So whatever the valid country names are there, only that country names you want to keep one restriction. Okay, among these only, if user is selecting, then please display those flights. Otherwise, no. So unnecessarily, if I am keeping 123 or ABC like junk value, definitely the destination will not be there, and it is like waste of time. It will go to, like, without validation, it will reach to the target server, and it will just at that time it will bring like it is not a valid country name. So that kills the performance. So even while writing a ramal also, you should be very clear. What all the restrictions you want to keep on that your query param or URI param, you have to keep it. So in my case, I will write like select any query like enum. It is just like drop down I want to keep. In the drop down, only valid countries will be displayed. And before applying that condition, I want to make this destination as required field. That means mandatory field. So without giving destination, our search will not work. So for making it as mandatory, you can use required. So when you are using required, either true or false, you have to keep. So that means it is just like you are saying like destination is a mandatory field. And to that destination also, you want to apply some like valid destinations you want to do it. So you can write enum, and in the enum you can specify like SFO is one destination. Okay. And LAX is one destination. Some like few destinations, valid destinations we can give. Okay. So LAX USA is one destination. Either you can use either you can use square brackets, or you can use this one as well, like slashes. So why we will not use this thing means, see, if I have 100 country codes, then writing that many 100 country codes one by one is something difficult. Here, okay, here it is fine as I have only three. So like in sequential order, one by one I have written. But think like if it is 100 codes are there, writing one by one is something whole ramal file will take it. So better to keep it in square brackets, and just with comma separated we can give. This also works fine. So in this way, if you are giving like 100 also, there is no, it doesn't occupy much space. Okay. So now you have completed your input. So your, what is your input? You are saying like, hey, flights is my separator, and next get is my method, and whatever the input I am going to give for this method is destination, and that destination is a required parameter. And in that destination also, I need to have only these values. Among this only you have to select. It is just, it comes like the drop down. Only in that drop down only whatever you want to sell, among these three only one country you have to select, and you have to search. So I have done with my input. So input I am very clearly stated. Now comes with response. Whenever this input is given, what response you are expecting, what response business is expecting, that also will be there in your implementation document. So whatever the technical spec API they will give, in that definitely, hey, this is my input for this API, this is the output, it will be there in that document. But you need to know where to write. That's all. How to write in ramal and where to write, that you have to do it. The requirement they will give everything clearly, it will be there. If it is not there also, you have every right to ask them. So without this input structure and output structure, you cannot create your API. As it is training session, as I like, I am creating. That is fine. But in the real time, without they are giving any input and what output they are expecting, we can't create our API itself. So we should be very clear. If at all, if they have forgotten to give, you have every right to ask, hey, I want to write my RAML. What sample response you are expecting, so that we can write, we will create our flows. In that way, we have to ask. Okay, so now input is done. Now coming to this output, so you just come back. So to this get query parameter, here is the, this is the query parameter is my input. So after this, just click on enter and come with backspace. See, here you are not able to see what it is required. I see response, I'm not able to see. What you can do, come back. Still the tab is not showing any suggested panel, it is not showing. Again come back. So now you can see, see header is there, body you can see. So our response will be always inside the body only, right? So if you see it, see responses, we should see the tab where responses is there, and in the response also whether you want 200 status. Why? Because in our postman it is by default giving 200 for success. So this status also, which status you are expecting, that also we can write it. And response 200 as a status code, and in the body in the form of JSON, I want the result. Example is in this format I am expecting the response. That information you have to give. This example data will be there in your technical specification document. There you will copy it and you will paste it in your YAML file. You won't do anything, just you will be doing that. You will just from the tech specs you will be copying, and in the YAML where you have to paste, that you should know it. Okay, so here you check if responses is there. No, I'm not able to see here response is there. So yes, here response is there. Response also, which code you want. See here, so many codes are there. Business demands you, hey, use for any fault, they will clearly give in our technical spec, hey, 500, give us 500 when the server is down. For business exception, try to give like 403 or 405. So for every exception message, for every happy path or error path, whatever the status codes, business will be given to you. So as per that business you will be selecting. So in my case it is happy path, so I want to go with 200 only, so I will keep like 200. As soon as you are keeping your 200, see body is there, description is there, headers. So definitely everything it will be coming in the form of body only, right? If you see your mail, see your postman, everything after status code, down to status code, under under which tab it is coming, the response under body only it is coming. So you can say that after status, okay, wrap my body should be like, it should be in the form of JSON, and that JSON example also should be like this. I have given like example, and in the example, that example is this one. See, it should be like ID, destination and everything. And you don't need to bother about this data. Definitely this data for every business, what is the sample response they are expecting, they will give us. We don't need to worry. So as of now, roughly I have written ID I need, destination I need, price of the price means price of that flight, from where it will be originated, what is the departure date. Okay, like that, just like this only. If I am searching with any SFO destination, so only SFO related flights I need to get with all these details. Destination, what is the price, from where it is starting, and what is the departure date, right? If I am there will be multiple flights, right? Flight 1, flight 2, flight 3, so all are related to SFO only, it has to display. So example sample data we are trying to give it. Okay, example sample data. So one method I have written. Now just we will keenly observe. So how see, I have written only one method. Definitely there are 5 methods, but okay, let me unit test first this method. Okay, so for definitely I have five methods in place, but at a time if I write means it confuses you. For today I will write only one method. Okay, and I will unit test it. That is, unit testing is nothing but our second point. Where is that? So this is my, see, template. Only one method as of now I have written. Now I want to unit test. I will mark the service and I will test it whether whatever the syntax I have written. First, I want to do some checkpoint. Hey, whatever I have written, whether it is correct or wrong, whether it is working or not, I want to do that. For doing that, go to this gear icon, click on that, make it as a public so that people can hit it. Okay, just mark it. You just make it as make public, just mark, you have to keep on and go to this documentation. In the documentation, this is the API endpoints, flights is my separator and get is the method. Click on that method. You will get like try it. You just click on try it. If you observe, come down. For destination, it is giving a star mark. Why it is giving star mark? Here we have kept as required as true. So because of this reason, it is keeping as star. If you are not, if you are keeping as false means definitely the star mark will not be there. And in the enum, you have stated like only these three destination values should be there. So those three only are there. So in the drop down, only those three values it is coming. So you want to go with SFO or LAX, whatever. And if I hit this service, where is it? Okay, let me make it down. Look, send. So with LAX, if I am sending this input means the response I should get it as 200 and the body should be wrapped with some JSON message. Here example I have given, so that static data only as of now it will display. Okay, as of now, even though I have selected only LAX, it has not came. So whatever the example here I have given, only that example it was displayed. So if you want to get only SFO LAX destination flights means what you have to do? Fourth step, we have to implement the actual business logic over there. We have to connect it to the target system and we have to get for that destination how many flights are there. That information we have to get it. That we are going to do it in our fourth step, creating flows, implementing. See this one. Here we will do it, but as of now, just template, just I am testing. So whatever the template I have written, syntactically whether it is correct or wrong, just I am verifying. So for me it is correct only. Why? Because whatever here I have written as per requirement, everything is working fine through query parameters. So if you go like end, if you observe this end, see destination is equals to LAX. So this is my separator. Automatically it is taken. Why? Because I have written flights over here and destination is parameter, query parameter. Automatically it was taken. So I have not given anything manually, right? Everything it has taken by its own. And LAX, just LAX I have selected. That's all. So it is input, it is going properly, and output is also I am expecting 200, and in the body I am expecting some JSON message, whatever the example I have given, that it is working. So this indicates my syntactically this method is correct for now. Are you guys are clear till here?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Now one method I have done. Now I want to write total 5 methods. Okay. Second method is something post method. Post method in the sense what? You want to post. For example, in you're having your Amazon account. In the Amazon, okay, you want to buy one wallet. So what you will do? First you will go there and you will be adding to the cart, right? Adding to the cart. What you will add? You will be adding what is that wallet number, like what is its price, everything, its price or whatever the discount it is applicable, that you will be adding. So whatever you have wished something and you want to buy something, you want to add it. That is nothing but posting a message. Just you want to add something to your cart and you want to place a message. Okay, you just want to book it. You will be giving during booking process, you will be giving your credit card or whatever UPI you will be giving. And finally what you will get a message, you will get a message like, yes, your order has been booked successfully. That kind of message you will be getting. Here also the same case. So you have selected one flight, and you're adding that flight details to the cart, and finally you want to see a message like your flight has been added successfully, like that. That message you want to see. So even that requirement is also there in your technical spec. So for adding means here, adding adding in the sense you are adding to the cart. That means posting the, so you should able to understand, post is the method that we have to use for posting the details. So anyhow, adding the flight is nothing but you are posting your like required flight details, right? So that is the reason you have to go with post method. In the requirements, some people will clearly specify the methods as well. Hey, go, this post method is this, get method is this, delete method. But some specific, some like requirement documents, will be, the method will be lacking. Some people will not give properly as well. So at that time we have to use our brain. Okay, what this fellow is what this fellow is asking, what is his requirement. Some doubts we will, but with our like experience, we have to decide that method as well. We cannot, like silly questions also, we cannot go back and we can ask. Definitely we have to ask. The requirement should be very clear. They have to give very clear, otherwise we are middle, we are brokers, we are sitting in between, we don't know like what they are expecting. But some critical people will be there. Those people, even though if we ask now, hey, why have you not understood this, that kind of questions they will keep again back to us. Okay, so you should be like very keenly, you have to observe, okay, which method to go. So it is nothing but adding is nothing but a post method. So what you can do, you can add one more method below to your get method. So see, exactly opposite to your get method, you can keep like, see, the method is automatically coming. The good thing is like, the table will suggest what to use. So that is one good thing we can say. In the post method, what it is, the body, in the body you want to display a name like, okay, I want to add some flight details, like just for our information sake, I just want to add it. So display name, you can keep anything. See, description also you can keep, display name you can keep it, anything is fine. Add flight details to the cart, like that. Add flight details to the cart, like that we can keep it. So our understandable message we can keep. Otherwise sometimes even that message also those fellows only will give. Okay, and in the body, like what it is expecting, I'm expecting in the form of JSON, and the example you will be giving, okay, I will be pushing these details to my cart. Okay, these details to my cart, and corresponding to this response we have to get. So for this body, like responses, here it is there. See, corresponding to, you can observe to this body in the sense to this input, this is the response. So exactly opposite to the response only your table will suggest. Before that or after that it will not suggest. You can observe that. So it comes with experience only. Okay, 200 status, every status success message always will be like 200, and body. And then what message you want to see it in the form of JSON only, you want to see the message like your flight has been booked successfully, like that, whatever the message in your mobile it is getting, the same message you want to display it. Okay, that is fine, we can do that. See, it is showing an error, right? So why it is showing an error? Why? Because we have missed example. Let me remove this. Why? Because here we have missed, we have to keep example, right? We have missed that. That is the reason it is showing an error. Now this is fine, automatically it is saving. If you see here, you are not saving anywhere. Otherwise you can click on Control S as well, no harm in that. Okay, now you come up again, you go to your documentation. See, one more method under flights, one more method got added. Click on that post method, try it. So in the body, this is the data, and if you are sending this data, you will get 200 as success message, and whatever the dummy value you have written, that dummy value it will come. So syntactically for this method, what is the input and whatever the output you have written, that is correct. So two methods we have completed. Are you getting my point? Are you guys getting my point?
Yes, Satya.
Yes.
Yes, Smith.
So this is input, this is output in the same way. So in the same way, some people will be searching with destination. Well and good. I am also okay with that. But some fellows will be testing with the help of ID as well, right? With the help of ID also some people will check, right? Am I right? So what I'll try to do, see, with the help of ID here till now, with the help of destination, they have searched the flights. Now some people will search with train numbers and as well as flight numbers. So for them also definitely our API should be there, right? So that implementation should be there. Why? Because my requirement is saying, hey, write the API in such a way that the people who searches with destination, the result has to be given to them. If at all, that is one requirement. And second success case is, if they are searching with ID also, you have to track that, you have to grab that information, you have to get that information, and you have to send it to the user. Even that requirement is also there. So our happy path is, this is one happy path, and another happy path is with the help of ID they want to test. So come here and keep it like ID, and it is like that will also like under flights, after flights you want to keep the number. See, if you want to keep the number after flights, it also requirement clearly you have to observe. If you want to keep your URL HTTP, like some local host or host name can be anything. I anyhow I'm going to cloud deployment, so local host definitely will not be there, but for time being I'm writing. So this is flights. So after flights separator, you want to keep your ID like 190 flight, what details of 190 flight. If you want, like after flights, after separator you want to place, then if you want to place after flights means what you have to do is like in your thing, after flights exactly at get method, here you have to write. Okay, here you have to write your separator like this separator, and you want to go with query URI param. In this case, like you will be keeping in this way. Okay, you will be keeping in this way. If at all, if some way, it also depends on your requirement, I'm saying you. So after separator, if they are expecting, why? Because the URL is going to hit by source system. How source system is expecting, you don't know. That it will come with your technical spec document only. So if they want to go after flights, they want to keep their ID means in our raml after flights tab with the precedence of tab, we have to keep it. If some people are not interested to keep the separator, they want directly want like without flights only, without flights directly after URL, they want to give the flight ID. So if this is a requirement, then where you have to write, you have to come your starting. So here under separator you are not writing, exactly at separator path only we have to give. So it completely, I'm saying now, it completely depends upon the requirement how the technical spec is saying. So as of now I'm going without that only. Okay, so without that small ID or capital ID, you are whatever you want to give. Okay, at least these IDs will be under our control. We will give like small or capital, anything is fine. And if at all they are searching with this ID, what is the input, what is the output, again we have to get. So if input here, this clearly states that it is a URI param with ID number, that it is clearly stating. So if I am giving this ID number, this is the input, this clearly states this is the input, and for this input what is the output you have to write. So that is the reason here you kept get method, response should be 200, like it's the same thing. You are getting my point, right? You are understanding what I'm trying to say. So this slash id acts like a input. So input already we have given, right? And for this input, what is the get method you want to keep? Okay, body you want to keep, and it should be in the form of JSON. And the example is this one. If this id is given, 100 is given, related to that 100 id, the information should be, it has to give, we are expecting this response. So that sample we are trying to keep it. And in the same way, like corresponding to this URI param only, some more methods like get method is there, post method you want to do, update method, delete method. Yes, get method is there, delete method also we can keep. Okay, you have added your flight details to the cart and suddenly your mind has changed, you want to delete it. So what details you are deleting, that details you have to give, and you are expecting the message this one. And sometimes after adding, you feel like in the flight's information something is missing and you want to update your flight details. At that time you will be using put method. So let me add delete and put as well. Okay, so here get method corresponding to these methods only you have to write. Delete method. So this is the method, and what you want to delete in that body, what it is there, you want to say, just you will be selecting the id, and this id details you want to delete. So the input is already there, so output we are expecting, right? So responses, okay, 200 success message. So this depends, for delete they may go with separate status code, so it totally depends on the requirement. As of now, by default 200 is a success, so I am taking it. Okay, and now, okay, now example. So example, your flight details has been deleted, that message I'm giving. Okay, this is delete method. And in the same way, you want to, after adding to the cart again, something your mind has changed and you want to update something else. So at that time, put is the method you will be using. Are you guys understanding or not? Put is the method. You're understanding, right? Body. Once you create now, automatically even you will feel, see, I am how I am checking. In the same way, you will also do it. Until and unless practice is not there, we can't do anything. You will not understand. This ramal is something like almost 10 to 15 ramals. If you write now, automatically it helps you. Okay. Example, display name if you keep, or description if you want to keep, it is your wish. If your requirement is saying to keep display name, yes, you can keep it. If it is not, okay, fine, that is also fine. See, I just disturbed one tab, or everything disturbed. So while writing, be careful. I disturbed something now, right? Only one space I have removed, everything is showing in red color. So while writing raml, you should be like careful. That is what I'm trying to say. Now I will go to documentation. See, under flights, two methods are there. Under id, three methods: get method, delete method, put method. So this already we have tested. Now I want to test this. Try it. So our number it is expecting. Why? Because we have given URI param. Some number you can give it. You can send it. Whether the message is getting or not, see. You must provide a body. Something I have written wrong. It is not coming 200 status. So something was missed. I have to check it. JSON tab space, try to give some tab space. Something was missed. Bad request, validation error. Okay. Now also it is again parameter ID is missing. Okay, let me give 400. See. So something somewhere, even though here errors are not showing, some mistake I have done. It is stating, it is giving that info. See, You must provide a body. Okay. Get method is there. Okay, what is missing? Tell me, guys, what is missing? After body, something is missing, or before body. Responses is missing. Responses got missed. So that is the reason it is not giving. Got it? So what I'm trying to say is that even the syntactically here the error was not shown while you are hitting or while you are testing over here. This clearly states validation error. So if you create flows using this one, definitely it is not a valid thing. Okay. So here it was not shown any error. Try to observe in this RAML file, no error was shown. But during mock testing, I was identified like something is missing over here. Why? Because it is clearly saying some validation error. Okay. So where I have to place it? After get, I have to place that, right? Now enter it. Responses I can give. Okay. Okay. Now I have given responses. After responses, that ID should be given. Anything 200 or 201, anything we can give. No harm in that. Okay. And then we will try to send it now. I have updated, right? Now I will try to send it. Still it is showing validation error. Still it is showing. So some tab space is missing. So what I'm trying to say is like it clearly will not specify error. RAML file is very critical. Okay. Right. Here this space also I'll remove. Okay. Now I will try to test once again. Now it got it. So one tab space I have missed, right? I have missed one tab space. Then it came like what I have expected. So just I'm showcasing this. Even this RAML file also errors will not populate until and unless. That is the reason mocking of RAML is pretty much required. Why mocking is required? Now you have clearly seen it. Only I have missed that responses part. During design, it has not suggested me. It is a wrong. But during testing, it has given the error. Some people will ask childish questions. See, everything is static over here. Here example also we are giving static. Then why to test? For them, this is the answer. Syntactically, even though it is wrong, during writing it has not displayed. During testing only we identified. So this indicates like now my API is correct. Now I am perfect. First two statements I have done. I have written my template. I have written my template and I have unit tested perfectly. And from third step, I will catch on second next class. Is this clear for everyone or it is Greek and Latin?
Yeah, Nitya, we need to go through once again the recording.
Definitely. You have to. You don't have any other option. Okay. Okay. As it is weekend and Diwali is also there, 2 days you are getting holidays. So that is the reason I tried completing this RAML structure so that you can utilize your time for practicing. Okay. Okay, guys. Next class is on Monday. Tomorrow also we can, but okay, anyhow people will be like on Diwali's mood, right? So yeah. Okay, fine. Shall we meet on Monday?
Yeah, Nitya, sure.
Anyhow, writing this grammar takes 2 days for you. For me, it has taken 1 hour and 1.5 hour, 1 hour for 40 minutes, 70 minutes it is taken for me, but for you guys, it will take some time. Okay. Okay, chalo guys. Thank you. Thanks for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you,
Let's
Nitya.
meet on
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Happy Diwali once again
Happy
to
Diwali.
everyone.
Yeah. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, Nitya.
Yeah. Thank
Bye.
you and wish you the same. Have a safe Diwali. Okay. Chalo. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.